Yes, the world is unredeemed. The world is difficult. It is hard to be God's partner in creation, to make this world a better place. It is hard to attach ourselves to others. But Judaism says that the way that a man completes himself, the way that a woman completes herself, is to attach herself to others, is to assume responsibility for the world. Those people who flee responsibility and want to roam free are people who eventually are going to be very depressed and depressing people because they're not needed. They're unattached. They need each other. That's why in Judaism, marriage is so important and the family is so important, because only in a family can a person complete himself. That a man needs a woman and a woman needs a man. And people need to be responsible for each other. They need to have children. They need to help this world prosper. They need to have a part in forming and shaping the life of a young child. And when you're a parent, you, to a certain extent, stand in God's stead. You're helping shape and mold a life. That's why one of the most important themes in the high holidays is that of the woman crying for a child. In this Torah portion that we read on the high holidays, we read about Sarah. And we read how Rachel cries for a child, how Hannah cries for a child. We know that a child completes a person because a child needs you. And the most important life is the giving life. Knowing that you're needed, knowing that you count. The self-contained man is an ideal which is not a Jewish ideal. That's a Greek ideal. To need no one, to stand independent, to be by yourself. But that's a selfish ideal. That's not an ideal which allows you to grow. That's an ideal which causes the world even to be forsaken, because it doesn't cause people to work together, to build together. We all can't do it ourselves. We need each other. We didn't come into a world that was barren. We came into a world which already had stores and which already had cities and which had technology and which had language and which had culture. And our job is to add to it, to make it a little bit better. The world is pregnant with possibilities. There's so much new things that we can do. A piano only has a certain number of keys, but there is such beautiful music that can come from that piano, and beautiful music which hasn't even been discovered yet. I'm reminded of the story they tell about a man who was running a summer theater, when all of a sudden a teenager came roaring down with his automobile, couldn't make the turn, and went right through the barn, right onto the stage. And the director, known to make light of the situation, looked at the young man and said, "Young man, is this the way you're trying to break into show business?" And the young man said, "Oh no, this is just a stage I'm going through." Unfortunately, to many people, they never get out of teenage. They never want to assume responsibility. The stages of their life are, in a certain sense, they are misfortune. This day, the anniversary of the first day of the creation, is indeed a statute for Israel, an ordinance for the God of Jacob.
God also valirlos mitzadei gover machshavos sodon mitzavlos אשרי מלא איש, אשרי איש שלא ישכחך ובנו אדום יסמד בו.
Why, though, don't we live up to our potential? What gets in the way? Why do we sometimes fail to do those things which you know we should do and we can do? The answer, my friends, is that many times we look at the wrong values in life. We look for the wrong things. The only thing that's important to us many times is surface impressions, is tinsel. We don't look at the hidden things, the things that are really important. All we look for is the shiny things, the surface things. It's interesting to note that the word for world in Hebrew is olam. That's the same word in Hebrew which means hidden. It's our job to bring out the hidden potentialities of the world. Everything is in the world, except we have to put it in the right order. It's all mixed up. We all know that if there's a disease in the world, we have great confidence that we can find the cure, because we all believe, and this was originally only a Jewish belief, that God created the refuah before the makkah, that God created the cure before he created the disease. And that, of course, is why we should look deeply into things. We should look at the important things, not the tinsel. In fact, the same word for olam, which means world, which means hidden, also means forever. The things that are hidden are the things that last forever. A mother's love, a spouse's love, the things that we have within us, the courage, the dedication, the good name, things that you can't see. These are the things that are more important. But too many times, we look only for surface things. We don't look for the real things in life. We do not want to assume responsibility for ourselves or for others or for the world. We don't want to participate. We don't want to grow inside. We don't want to be the people that we can be. But we can be this type of person. I once asked the Kotzker Rebbe, how come in the famous prayer that we say during the high holidays, we say man's origin is dust and he returns to the dust? Isn't that a terrible prayer? And the Kotzker says, no, it's not a terrible prayer. If man would come from gold and then go to dust, it would be a terrible prayer. But man can rise. True, man goes to dust. But it's not where man goes at the end that counts. What does man leave behind? Do you leave behind a better world? Do you leave behind people who will remember you because you cared? Because you were a person who could elicit the best out of them? That's what it's all about. I'm on to the story they tell about a man who prayed and prayed that he should be given the Midas touch. And an angel came down and said, all right, I'm willing to give it to you, but do you remember what happened with the first Midas who had the Midas touch? He touched his daughter, and his daughter became gold, and it was terrible. And the man said, don't worry, I'll put on gloves. So the angel said, all right, I'll give you the Midas touch. And sure enough, he was given the Midas touch, and everything he touched turned into a muffler. That, unfortunately, is the lot of many people. Everything they touch turns into things which do not count at all. They don't reflect the hidden things. They only reflect the tinsel. Our Father, our King, be gracious to us and answer us, though we have no merits, deal charitably and kindly with us and save us.
Obinu malkeinu, malkeinu, aseh leman shemecha gadol, hagibor vehanoro, shenikro leinu, hagibor vehanoro, shenikro leinu.
Rosh Hashanah, we blow the shofar. The shofar is a cry from the heart. Each of us is bidden to listen to the cries of others, to listen to the cries of the downhearted. In Judaism, hearing is more important than seeing. For many, many years, hearing could not be captured. Sight could be captured. But life is not static. Life is in flux. Life constantly moves. And many times, if you fail to hear, if you fail to be sensitive to other people, then you're going to make the wrong decisions. Why is it that we judge ourselves so favorably and we judge others so harshly? And the reason is, my friends, because we judge ourselves by our intentions. We say, we meant to do well, so it came out wrong. How did I know that her mother-in-law just died? How do I know that she had a facelift? How do I know? I didn't know these things. So I excuse myself. But when it comes to other people, we don't give them an inch. They insulted me. They said the wrong word. We don't know that maybe they had good intentions. Maybe they didn't know about certain things in our life. In this world, we should judge ourselves harshly and others easily. So we should be more sensitive to them. I'm reminded of the story they tell about a man who was sitting next to another man on the airplane. And he said to him, I'm a rabbi. And the man said, all religion is only love thy neighbors yourself. And the rabbi said, what do you do? He says, I'm in astrophysics. And the rabbi said, well, all astrophysics is twinkle, twinkle, little star. My friend, there's truth in both those statements. Love your neighbor as yourself, but be sensitive to him. God who dwells on high, austerely mighty, shall reign supreme forever and ever.
This has been Sunday Devotion featuring the United Orthodox Synagogue with Rabbi Joseph Radinsky. You're cordially invited to attend the regular services at the synagogue located at 9001 Green Willow. This program is a public service presentation of KTRK TV.